This is Glendin ThePackRat. I'm in Space Engineer, Season 2, Episode 33, Captain's Log. Well, I finally got the hover ship to some place that is nowhere near anything. I have plenty of solar power. I have those modded batteries. What do you call those? I forgot. The antimatter batteries. I'm doing two things at once here. I'm putting this out here. Well, on a side note, let's start with that. They've done a lot of updates to this, and the problem I was having was, and the reason I had to go out here and leave the planet is because they're doing so much changes to it, so many changes, so many optimizations. The game became so laggy it was unplayable. I tried restarting it. I tried putting the hover base back down there again. I tried many things, and the only way I could get it to play properly, and I'm lucky I got the last two episodes out, and this just didn't say to you I had to reset it because of, you know, the changes. But I was able to pull two episodes out of getting me off of the planet and out here and building with the hover base and all that. And I still want to do everything legitimately. I still want to do everything. I lost a lot. I mean, tons and tons and tons. I've saved all the ships, but still, I'll never use them again. I want to build new and exciting, fresh. And this is what used to be capable of being built was a swing ship. It's my own design. Bunch of cutters in the front that rocks up and down and basically chews the hell out of an asteroid. I started out with the one drill. I repositioned it. It used to be pointing downward right here. And after cutting that and putting that over there and running back about 100 times, I finally got it moved. And I bored it deep into this asteroid to get enough material to get started. I have the ore crushers running full speed, all 12 of them. I have the two refineries running full out. I have the assembler running full out making things, and I'm basically just waiting for parts. I want to get this a little bit wider, maybe two more on each end, and I wanted to show you what I was doing. And every time I kick on the welders, we weld a little bit more.
Ship fuel critical.
And then I kick on some more welders. Add some more welders to it, and it just keeps welding and welding and welding. The front of the ship, well, this is the back of the ship basically, but the front of the ship, I'm putting a big long umbilicus out there, and I'm going to build my new something that looks like the long crab. It's going to have a big swing ship on one end and cutters on the other, and a couple of pistons that come out with welders on it for me building the next ship. It's an intermediary ship. It'll be used for let me get the welders online here, the new welders. Intermediary ship. Let's do all this. Because I still have plans to build a Dark Star. I don't think that's going to change. Like I say, some of this it can be built, some of it can't. I have production running full out. I have the assembler running full out. I have the refineries running full out. The stone crushers running full out. Let me show you. Here's the refineries running full out. Direct iron, I'm gonna tons of that. Working on gold down here. Got 2 refineries. And then next ship, I'm going to build really big refineries and really big everything. I'm going to use all the XL mods. Probably about 8 large containers of the XL dense versions, the ones that hold 56 million each. And I'm going to move that, and I'm going to build that as the swing ship. And it builds a little at a time when it has the parts, and I turn it back on every so often. But it's getting there. When you see the spark stop, it means it's waiting on parts. But I wanted to show you this because it's here. I am using the remote body. It's really beautiful. I love using this thing. And I'm going to wind up eating this whole ship. So I want this umbilicus out far enough so I can build a huge swing ship out here. I'm going to build cutters facing the hover ship about here, and I'll just cut it loose and turn it on and eat that ship eventually. Now, I turned that on, and how far did it go? Did it go that far? I think it goes 6 from the tip. So and I'll daisy chain these all the way out. And it don't have to be perfect. And as soon as I put one online, it'll build the next, and all the way out here. I think that's right. Messed it up. No. 6. Wait a minute. It's about perfect. Because I want to do... Oh, crap. Can't go no more. Gotta get some interior plate. And I was taking the cutters apart over here and a little bit of this in order to get the parts I need. Everything white I'm building out here is brand new. I'm building it white so I can see it and I can then color it later. Just marking that this is where I'm going to build this. I'm not measuring it at all. I'm just seeing if it's far enough. Might actually have a double or triple layer cutter head out here. Because it seems to be working very well as the swing ship. I just did a test cut here, and it was at one time in the build. I understand it's still an alpha build. It's just getting to the point of being optimized to the point where it's going to beta. So a lot of things were changing, and there was a point where the gyros didn't work well enough to do a swing ship, and now it seems to be working very well. So yeah, we're doing swing ship where this whole piece in the back from about here is going to be gone. The hover ship is going to be gone eventually. I'm rebuilding a new ship here. I don't know. I may have to take this out a little bit farther. When I start building this arm here isn't going to be needed for a long time. And I may have to see, the longer that arm is, the bigger the cut you can take when you swing it up and down on the asteroid, without actually being inside the asteroid. And I want the cargo containers all the way at the back, because the last swing ship I built, it didn't have such good luck because I got too close. The back of it got too close with the cargo containers to the actual asteroid, and I blew out the containers, and that was a mess. So this one is going to be about 3 times longer than I've ever built before. So let's just go with that for now, and turn the welders on and build the next one.
Ship fuel critical.
I think that's why that one hasn't been built. The red ones here haven't been built yet. They're the ones I just put on. But I can have them. And then they're on for a minute, and then build the next one, and the next one, and the next one. Gotta watch out though, as you build these, they'll get changed. These won't change. I've got them turned on now, but they won't change if I change these. And the problem with that is, you'll wind up jumping outside the cockpit, and some of the welders will still be on. Which is not a good thing. That's right. That'll weld, and that'll weld, and that'll weld. Or short parts. I know we're short parts. That's why I was cutting these things back off the back here and putting them inside. So I'm not going to be using these anymore. And I can feed those to the cargo bin.
Ship fuel critical.
And by doing this, and when I turned it on, I guess I was at a small pipe. Now, what I do is, I'm out of steel. Wow, I didn't know that. I haven't even started making that yet. Go here. Well, the reason I reorganized my cargo container in a descending order is so I can see what needs to be made at a glance. I do it the same time every time. It's like putting your car keys in the same place every time when you come home from work. And you know where they are when you go to head out the next morning. You don't have to hunt around the house for them. Things like that. You always put the flashlight in the same place. I always put these in the same descending order. It goes this way, it goes this way. This is steel plate, interior plate, construction components, computer and motor, and then we have descending steel tube, large tube, small tube, and metal graded steel tubes as far as I'm concerned. Then we have display and bulletproof glass, which is almost the same. Power cells, and I keep going on. This should be the last. Probably have too much of stone has just been thrown in there because it came in from the drills and is waiting to be processed. But every so often, turn this on. Weld a little more. As the parts appear, I can weld a little more, and a little more, and a little more. It's going to be a slow process. This is going to take me probably days to get to the point where I can actually see a ship start to come together here. And I love this robot. I really do. Now there's another welder I can bring online to do the next one, Yeah. I really love this little robot body. It's got no oxygen, but it's got twice the hydrogen, and I think a little bit more energy. And if you get killed, it's just like your regular body. You have to go out and get it, but it's more realistic. My body's sort of in a crowd chamber, and in life support, and I'm out here in the robotic body that can be destroyed and remade and destroyed and remade. And I like it because it's a little bit more realistic than dying and being resurrected. You don't need oxygen environments. Don't need oxygen at all. And more of this is going to be made. And I can cut into this in a bit after I weld the ones on the end. See, you have to always have all of them running. If you don't, you can't cut into the asteroid. The ones that are running can't cut into it. So I'm going to have those. Ah, there comes one. What's up with the other side? What don't we have? I'll leave them on for a bit. I'll get stupid. Walk out there again. I've done that before. Yeah, steel plate still. Well, it's coming. Got more and more coming. So put another 10,000 out there. Yeah, they've changed a lot with this. The items you have floating the component parts now have a yellow glow around them, and when you pick them up, they make a different sound. When you move things around, it has from container to container, it has a different sound. They've like this, clicking this, it has no sound. That used to annoy the shit out of me. I guess it's annoyed other people as well. Things like this makes a different sound. I like that. That sounds nice and crisp. Ow.
Your
Ow.
health is critical.
And that's another thing I like. When you jump out of here,
critical.
you leave the welders on, you can still get back in before you die. When you jump back out again, you die. If you get hit by the welders, it doesn't destroy the body to the point where it can't function anymore. I'll just pop out here. I'm gonna go get my good tools. Yeah, it is oxygenated environment. I ought to turn those off. Save it for when I need it. I jumped out with the welders on. I got stupid. I know I was. I actually did that on purpose to show you the body. And you can get your stuff off it just like normal. And you respawn with the correct gear. And all those, I just push this away and let it float away into the void. They disappear pretty quick though, these robotic bodies, if you're not using them. When they start floating. If you just watch it for a few minutes, the last one disappeared in like 30 seconds or so. And so you don't have a huge number of these bodies floating around. I guess it's not going to do it now. It'll disappear. I have the amount of things that can float around here up to the maximum, whatever the hell that is. Maybe it was just the maximum because the drills were running. I need to take these out too. Never be in atmosphere again. Never need those. Not on this ship. This ship's not going to be here. Now, you see that? See what I just did with that? I'm going to go ahead and put this away really
Ship
quick.
fuel critical.
Like so. And then I'm going to go get those parts. Now, what I wanted to show you is they light up now. Instead of having a block around them, they just turn yellow and then you can pick them up. I know I've lost some parts. I hate doing that. They make a better sound now. They have really been polishing the hell out of this game lately. Oh. thought I could chase them all down. Because they're like, they have a completely different look to them when you go to pick them up. It's alright, they'll be deleted. As I cut with this rock here, all those little bits floating around will get deleted. I mean, yeah, if you have 1,000 bits floating around, you add one more, the first one gets deleted. As the last one shows up, the first one gets deleted. So eventually everything gets deleted. Now let's see.
Ship fuel critical.
Turn it on again. It's welded some more. And if we look again without being stupid this time, the production is probably still needing other things. Let me see. What are we needing now? Other than just... Yeah, see, it's taking it immediately. It's using that. And it's using it straight out of the assembler, too. I'll put this in here. In order. Yeah, it's pulling the iron out very quickly and making those parts. I don't know why this... Oh, that's in the queue. So as soon as the part shows up here, the welders are pulling it out and they're putting it where it needs to go. So it's working on it. It's going to take a little while. I need to bind those drills together. Let's go down and find those. Hold control. Bind those together. No. Mine. All mine. There we are. Now when I hit this button, they should all start up together. That last one gets done. Make sure I bind the welders together. See, I'm also working on the back of the ship at the same damn time, so the parts are going two places at once. So it's a waiting game. I'm just going to be here for a long time. I have both of these. Each one of these is 10. And I have to set up these batteries. They're huge. And I can turn one on, make it charge. Takes a minute to charge. I'm still facing the sun enough that it's can charge the batteries. But I have a huge number of... if one is on, the other is off. That's the way it just works. I have... very small reactor for emergency power, and I can turn the weapons on and off. I have an ore detector, but I know there's iron in this rock, but who cares? Because I can turn just the stone into everything I need. It takes the trace elements out of the stone and converts it to usable metals. So you really don't have to go out and find all the different types of metal now. It just, all you have to do with that mod is put stone crushers in there. It takes stone and it pulls out all these trace elements, just a little at a time, even ice. But it lots of gravel. You have to actually set up something to spit out gravel every once in a while, because your car containers will get full of gravel. But other than that, I mean, you get tons of ice, you get all the stuff you need to make the components, although it's slow. I've got 12 of those things running, and we've got 44 million stone already sitting by, ready to be processed. So basically what I'm going to be doing is leaving this run all night to get it processed. And I am definitely not building a ship like this again, where it's... not able to process large amounts of things. The swing ship, the new mining ship, is going to have tons of processors. I was thinking about making like 40 stone crushers, and I'm using the big XL. Let me see here. It's big XL. These. I'm going to use the big refineries, Don't really need a blast furnace. The refinery does it. I don't know why they keep making those. There's a huge assembler. Hell, there's a huge ore detector now. Huge solar panels, but I have something else I'm using for solar panels. Where did it go? Where did it go? Anyway, I'm using a bunch of mods here. This one puts in a telescope, laser turret, all by the same guy. And these small armor thrusters I've been using forever. This one puts in the cargo teleporter, and there's basically 2 cargo teleporters, I guess, now. Didn't even notice that. That's cool. This you can use to just drain the ship and send it on to somewhere else. Yeah, I'm using these big solar panels, and I'll be using these the heavy reactors too in the next build. I've got hydrogen. Well, let's look down here. I've got oxygen hydrogen pack I'm using. They have small oxygen tanks and small hydrogen tanks to go together, and large oxygen hydrogen tanks. There's mediums. I thought the large oxygen. There's large oxygen generator. There's anyway, what I'm interested in is this here. There's an oxygen farm. There's a large hydrogen farm. There's a large oxygen farm and a large hydrogen farm. That's what I'm interested in, because, well, it'll be a mining ship, so it'll have a ton of it anyway, but I can put these on near the solar collectors and as an emergency for, and get all the oxygen hydrogen I need from sunlight. And then we have these gyros, which I haven't really used yet, from the same person who made this pack. There is a gyro times 100. So instead of putting thousands of gyros all over the ship to make it move right, I just have to use a few of these, maybe 10 of these, and the swing ship will be built really well. I have a small antenna. I have this. This is really cool, an attachment base. I can actually attach it to a large ship and then attach small components to it. And the reason why I want to do that is because I want to put a small projector on my ship to build small ships. So the parts will flow right from the container into the, all the welders and stuff around it. And I can build small parts on a large ship, and it's really cool. It doesn't work the other way around though, but it's really cool the way they've done it. And of course, this is the X-bar is the huge reactors and huge. Actually, there's a bunch of solar panels, and then there's a big capacitor. And a capacitor is for, if you never use one, it's for if you have sufficient power for the ship sitting there, and you go to thrust away and you're using big engines. Sometimes the initial thrust needs so much power to get up to speed that you have to build bigger reactors. Capacitor is so you don't have to build the bigger reactors because you don't really need them. You just need the extra power to get the initial thrust going to get your ship up to speed, and that's what they're for. They charge up and you go ahead and start thrusting and getting where you're going, because you always go up to maximum speed and then just coast. And that's what they're for, so you don't have to build a ton of reactors and use your uranium faster. And of course I love these, the maglock surfaces. And we have these, the large armored thrusters. I use those everywhere on a large ship. And now we have the new SNO bot, Snowbot, MK1 Workshop. That's the mod I'm using right now to have the little robot that I'm in. And I love these doors, especially this one for a nice ship. You can look through it. It's got the windows. I'm using these right now, but I'll be using these in my next ship. And somewhere here, I have a Stargate mod. I don't think it's separated, though. It's probably in all blocks. I have different thrusters and stuff. I have the hacking one. That's not that one. It's a programmable one. I have that there, but I guess it doesn't differentiate. There it is. The hacking computer. That's one mod. I have the Stargate, although I want to do it legitly, and I haven't found any knack with it anywhere. So, yeah. And then we have this little puddle jumper, which I may set up to actually make puddle jumpers. If we can find enough to build Stargates. And there are some massive Stargates. Big enough to take really big ships through. But where would I go? I don't know. I'll be using these real dense, extra large cargo containers. And those cargo containers hold 46 million. And then, of course, I've got the antimatter batteries, which are huge. And I'm sorry for the yawning, but I'm really not tired. When I had my stroke, I'll just touch base on it real lightly for those who don't know. First of the year here, 2016, I had a stroke, a real bad one that put me in the hospital. I'm still recovering from it. You can hear it in my voice every once in a while. It was in the brainstem. It controls all the autonomic responses, like heartbeat and breathing, and you almost lost the pack rat. I came really close. But it controls a lot of other things like yawning and all kinds of stuff. So every once in a while, it's still healing. Every once in a while, I'll just get triggered a yawn. And it's not because I'm tired, it's because of that stroke. And I just wanted to put that out there in case you hear me just yawn like I did a second ago, and I didn't catch it fast enough with the mic, so you probably heard it. I'm not tired, that was a triggered response because that particular area of my brain is, or brainstem is healing. I only had the stroke about 4.5 weeks ago. So things are still healing. It's going to take months for me to get back to normal. I was really upset. My voice was all slurred and I sounded like I was drunk, and it's like, how the hell can I keep doing my YouTube channel? And it was a really rough and low time for me. And I've had low times, but I was in fear for the channel. I was in fear for being able to ever record again. But I'm here, and my voice is getting better. Every once in a while I'll trip over a word, but I am getting better. And every once in a while I'll have an involuntary yawn that I just can't stifle, and yeah, I just have to deal with it. It'll eventually go away too. The doctor says he's never seen somebody with a stroke in their brainstem like that before and still live. So either I have a doctor who didn't see much, or I'm extremely lucky. But then again, I was born on Friday the 13th, and I always say that I was born on Friday the 13th. Oh crap! And my luck went downhill from there. But when I really absolutely need some luck,
Ship fuel
it's there.
critical.
You know, I've lived through some horrendous things in my life, but I'm still here. I haven't, the universe hasn't been able to kill me yet. So, either I've got luck or God or somebody on my side, but the pack rat is still here, and I will continue. The universe has not been able to kill me yet, and I am still here. I will stop thumbing my nose at the universe because it may take offense, and I may have problems again. But we're gonna keep working on. I really enjoy space engineers, and I really want to get this new ship built. It's going to take a lot of effort on my part. Please subscribe to my channel if you haven't so far. And I'm hoping to pull out a lot more games in the future. A lot more titles. There's things that I've bought and had people give to me, and my mouth is watering at going to play those, but I've got too much stuff on my plate. So Space Engineers and all the other things I have going, I'm getting too thinned out here between the games, and I really have to stick with what I've already got going here. So yeah, this episode's getting a little long in the tooth, is why I started talking about all that stuff. Let's put all this stuff away, and if I just shift click it, it should go right in the right spot. I just want to make sure that went in there, because it wasn't in the right spot. There we go. Now we click it on again. Well, it's a little bit more on both the front and the back. Now I just keep going. And okay, this is getting a bit long in the tooth, so let's go ahead and cut this here, and I'll see you next episode. Thank you for coming with me on the journey, because life is a journey. You don't want to reach the end of life, because hell, I almost reached it, the end of my journey, and you know, reaching the end of the journey is basically becoming a corpse. So you don't want to reach the end. It's all about the journey. And yeah, have fun with it. Do something meaningful. Do something, you know, that you can be proud of, and just live life and have fun, because one day it's over. And oh crap, I did it again. And so I always say life is about the journey, and it is. Please leave a like if you like what I'm doing, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't so far. I could really use your help growing it. It's a struggle. I know I haven't done a lot of things right. I know I don't have a lot of things set up, but I'm still working on it a little at a time. Putting most of my energy into creating good content, and eventually I will figure out the rest of the stuff. It works better if I turn on a light. Crap. Now I figure this out at the end of the episode. Alright, I'll catch you next episode. Thank you for coming.